Hi, I'm Megs,
And I'm Jax,
and this is Musing Over Mugs.
where you can find us musing over all things books, drinks, adventure, and life related.
And today we are musing over book adventures.
Woohoo! Before we get started, we want you to grab your mug and tell me, Meg, what's in yours?
Mine is tequila and spindrift. What about yours, Jax?
This is candy cane green tea.
I like how we switch it up, and it's not always, we're not always
You never
drinking
know what
together.
you're gonna get. What I just realized is that I'm drinking candy cane tea in my Halloween mug.
I like it.
But isn't she a beautiful mug?
She is very beautiful. Where did you get this mug?
This is from Book Babe Shop Design, and she just launched her Halloween collection. And I don't know if this is going to be airing in time, but it's amazing. It's gorgeous. I also got a shirt from her. She's launching sometime soon her box set. So it's like not a subscription box. It's like a one-time design box that she does.
Ooh.
And I think this year's theme is cottagecore. And so she's been like sneak peeking all of the stuff that she's been, not all of it, but some of the pieces she's been designing, and it looks gorgeous.
Just so you know, books and book-related things make great holiday gifts.
They do.
So support your local bookseller and book swag seller.
Absolutely.
You know.
Let's dive in.
I was gonna be like, I'm in a New Year's Eve shirt, but I'm not. I'm in a shirt that I wore to the Lady Gaga concert.
Close enough to New Year's Eve.
So. I mean, it's got sequins on it, so I was like, it's happening.
I know. For those watching on YouTube, I did not get the memo that we were wearing sparkles. Otherwise, I would have dressed to the nines. But alas.
I mean, it's on your
BBBs.
bucket list to wear sequins just randomly, and.
But this wouldn't be random. This would be for the podcast. So,
but I mean, I just kind of put this shirt on, and we just happen to be.
But would you have put it on if you weren't recording? Would you just sit around your home in it? Exactly. That's what I got to do.
I might actually sit around my home in this, but I had a shirt on earlier today since it's 8:30 p.m. It's fine. In other news, book adventures. Let's get into it.
Book adventures. So we have been on many book adventures thus far. We were kind of going back through our list, and it's funny, up until this point, and this was even, I had planned to go to one with my family before we even started the Bookstagram and the podcast and all of that jazz. But since then, obviously, we have spiraled out of control, and we have hit a few.
Did we spiral out of control, or did we just lean into what was going to happen eventually, inevitably?
I like where you're going.
We just leaned
into the goodness because they are fantastical.
And we didn't talk about this before we started recording, but it just came to me. We're going to talk about specific ones, but before we even had the idea for the podcast or the Bookstagram, we had already signed up for a quasi book adventure. If you count the teas that we signed up for, that we made reservations for
Public Library.
At the Boston Public Library.
I completely forgot about that. That's not even on our list of events that we've attended.
I feel like they count, though.
They
Maybe
do,
not like
in the library,
super dedicated as the other ones were, but it was all book themed in the library.
Let's start there. There are at the Boston. For those of you who don't know, the Boston Public Library has two separate tea rooms. There is, now I'm going to get the names wrong. Map room. There's a map room. I was going to call it the pirate room, but one is the map room. It reminds me of pirates, but it's like old mahogany and leather and like rich deep reds and stuff. And then the other one
is the courtyard
room, and that one's much brighter, airier, like all white with like fine china, and that was the room we went to first because that was more aesthetically pleasing for the podcast.
I think we went to that one first because that also had the reservations.
Yes, we made these reservations like 3 months out because we were like, we found out about it and we're like, oh my God, let's try to go this weekend. And then couldn't get in until 3 months later. And so we went to the courtyard, and then we had we'd gotten the reservation for the map room first, but it was further out, and then one opened up for the courtyard. Mm-hmm. And I was like, snag, now we're going to go to both because it was so hard to get.
And I mean, I don't regret it one iota. They had different menus, slightly different menus.
They're very similar.
Very similar, but I think the map room had like one less thing or something like that. Because it was the price was different too.
Yeah.
But either way, that was, I think, the start of our book adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Before we even like, by the time we had gone to the first one, we had already come up with the bookstagram and done the whole thing. But this was planned like, when did we do this? February we planned for it.
We went in
June, May, and June.
It was May and June.
Yeah,
like end of May and then mid-June were our two times. So yeah, we started several months in advance.
Yeah. Go
but us. It was good. It goes included, your ticket price included your seating, a pot of tea each. You got to pick from the best part. Obviously, that you're in the Boston Public Library, so that was the best part. But I am a sucker for details. In my past life, I was an event planner. I wanted to be a wedding planner, so like little things make me very excited. The menus come in old books, and in I think it was just the courtyard room, it was a bookmark that was the actual menu, and then I think in the map room it was within the book.
No, they were both the bookmark.
The alcohol list was within the book. That's what it was. So the menu is a bookmark, and then the alcohol and their book themed cocktails, mind you, are within the book itself. And it makes my heart very happy, that small detail. But so then you got to pick your tea, you got to get cocktails, which was extra but delicious and fine. And you got in a tower of food that was petit fours, scones, and finger sandwiches.
And you did get a glass of either champagne or sparkling cider. That was included in the ticket price. The cocktails, the book themed cocktails, were the add-on.
Worth every penny.
Oh, absolutely! I can't wait to go in. I'm gonna make brown for me.
Yes, it was great. I love a good afternoon tea, and I haven't told you this yet, but I did find us another tea room on the North Shore that we're gonna have to go to.
Okay.
I took a picture of it earlier because I got an ad for it. Any hoosers.
Those digital marketers are working hard.
They
are earning their money.
I'm going to one in Colorado too when I go out there in a little bit. I know. Well, you want to come to Colorado?
I mean, yes.
We're going to a concert
for tea
and skiing. But it was actually Book Daddy posted the tea room, and I clicked on it, and it was in Denver, and I was like, "Guess I'm going when I go to Denver."
That's awesome. I saw her Instagram
Sounds
story
great
about
to
it.
Me. Looked really cute. My least favorite thing about high tea is the savory food. I'm more of a dessert gal, and I want to be able to pick my food. So like the one at the Boston Harbor Hotel, you got to pick whether you wanted sweet or savory, which I like that a lot better because you can get just I'm in for the scones and the cookies and like sometimes the little chocolate petit four things.
Love the scones.
I don't need the little whipped lobster bite. That's not my jam.
And then the meat sandwich. I don't remember.
Prosciutto.
The prosciutto. Yeah.
Prosciutto and fig, which was delicious, but you don't eat.
I don't eat anything from a pig because of my weirdness. It's like bizarre. Like it has nothing to do with like religious beliefs or political beliefs. It's just because it just like freaks me out.
That's fine.
It's fine.
You do you.
Yeah. Husband gets mad, but he's okay with it.
Yeah, I was mad when we had turkey bacon instead of real bacon at brunch.
Listen.
I'm not trying that again.
My brother almost walked out on Easter Sunday because I was like, here's the bacon. He's like, that's not bacon.
Not the bacon.
And I was like, you can leave. I'll keep your kids. It's fine. Do you know my brother doesn't listen to the podcast? I saw him this weekend.
All this work to help us, and he hasn't listened.
I am so mad. I saw him this weekend, and he was just like, I'm like, how are you feeling? Like, how are you liking it? And he's like, I listened to like part of your first episode, and I haven't gone back. And he's like, it's not about Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, do I have to read a Dungeons and Dragons book to get you to listen?
Are there books on Dungeons and Dragons?
So many.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just a game.
So many. And there's a lot of podcasts about Dungeons and Dragons, and I feel like we will not.
We're not getting in that space. We can talk about Stranger Things, but that's about as far as I go.
But he did read the first book from the Throne of Glass series, so I'm like,
when we get to Throne of Glass, maybe he'll come in.
I'm hoping. Sorry, that was just a weird tangent because I was in Salem with him over the weekend, Salem, Massachusetts, and that's where we birthed the idea of the
That's
podcast.
where we started talking about it. We went to Salem for a girls' day, and then we ended up at Jolie Tea, another tea room, and we plotted our dreams of having a podcast to
Yeah.
chat about all things books. And look at us now. We're doing the damn thing.
Hey. And I would consider that a book adventure. Unofficial.
I was just going to say, an unofficial book adventure, the very first one.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by tea, and then the next one on our list was the Lit Crawl, sponsored by the Boston Book Fest.
Mm-hmm. And that was in Cambridge earlier this summer 2022. I was like, I don't know what year it is. Time's
like we haven't been doing this long.
It's nothing to do with how long we've been doing this. It's how long life has been happening. So we did that. We did the romance Mad Libs.
So for those of you who don't know, the Lit Crawl, it basically worked like a pub crawl, but you could go, there was, I want to say maybe 4 different time slots, and each time slot had different book events that you could go to. And so like, instead of, walking pub to pub, you walked from book event to book event. There was different panels going on. There were different book themed events. There was, I believe there was an author signing. We did not go to that. But we went to, as Megan said, the Romance Mad Lib event, and it was awesome.
So much fun. We sat next to these 2 lovely women who I'm pretty sure we scared because
we do have that effect.
Real excited about it.
As you can probably tell from just listening to the first few episodes of the podcast, when we get excited, and there is no dialing it back down. We are at like full throttle right from the get-go, and we both kind of like a little nervous at first, being like, I don't know how this is going to work. Like, I got my worksheet. So basically handed out a worksheet, and with obviously a Mad Lib with a bunch of blanks and like verb, adverb, all these things. And I start panicking. I'm like, I don't even remember what half of these things mean, first of all. Second of all, are we going to have to like write them and read them aloud? And then we're going to get judged on who's the funniest? And I was panicking. But then it turned out that the leaders of the event, who were the Smart Bitches Trashy Books group, and they have their own podcast, which is super exciting. They were sponsoring this one, and they were with Catalina Garamara, who is a local author to the area. Mm-hmm. And so they basically read it and then would pause, and the group would yell out a word, and whatever word they heard first, they would fill in, and at the end we read it all together. So it was like a group activity, which made it much more comfortable. And the second that happened, all bets were off, and Meg and I were like screaming in the front, like just crazy
we
things.
Were like directly in front of the hosts. So I also think we scared them a little bit too. But we were like there. We were like, Harold,
it was a blast.
Cow, whatever. Girth was fine.
Girth.
That was the word. That was the Wordle word of the day. And I remember that because it was so funny. I was like, that's the Wordle the Wordle word as we're walking into a romance novels Mad Libs.
It was perfect. It lined up, and then we both won books at that event.
Mm-hmm. I won Fake It Till You Bake It, which I have read, and the review is up on Musing over Mugs Instagram. So go check that out and then pick up the book. It's very cute. Romance set in California. A little bit of Bachelor Nation-esque and NFL. There's cupcakes. So pick up the book and then read it as you're eating some cupcakes.
Sounds dreamy. Mm-hmm. I won Promise of Fire by Amanda Bouchette, which I have not read. It is sitting on the shelf, but I do intend to read it because the woman we were sitting with highly recommended it. She was saying that it was the book club pick of the month for
like the Boston Book Bitches or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say Bad Bitch Boston or something. Mm-hmm. Now I'm messing up the name, and I did try for a while to get into that book club.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us into their Facebook group, so
I think I finally got in, but Facebook, to be honest, just overwhelms me at this point because I manage way too many client pages, and all my notifications are all client page related. So,
same.
I don't like.
Although I did go on, and it's been 7 years since we saw Idina Menzel at Tanglewood.
Oh my god!
I know.
7 years.
I know.
God. Yeah. So that was a fun event, and those were our 2 non-traditional, I'll say, book events. They were, events that revolved around books, but weren't your typical, like, author signing book kind of situation, mm-hmm. which we have now done several of those as well.
Now, you have done 2 without me, so why don't you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, those are the first 2 that we did. So the first one was I saw Ellen Hildebrand with my family. And that one had been on the list for ages because my mom and my sister and I all love Ellen and read all of her books. We've been reading them for, I don't even know how long, ages at this point. And so when we heard that she was coming to the area for her latest book, The Hotel Nantucket, we got our mom tickets for either her birthday or Mother's Day, one of the two. And it was a whole thing. We like took her out to dinner, and then we went to the book signing. It was super fun, exciting to meet her. This event, I have now learned there are many forms that these events can take. She kind of gave a brief synopsis of the book, and then did a Q&A for a while, and then signed everybody's books, and it was great.
Yeah,
And yeah, that was a good one. Great to meet her. It was also super exciting because I had just finished a reread of Blue Bistro, which is my favorite book of hers, and I had no idea, but it ties into the Hotel Nantucket. So
fun.
It's very exciting. And then someone asked her what her favorite book was, and she was like, The Blue Bistro, and I was like, mine too. We can be best friends.
There you go.
I don't think she was impressed, but that's fine. I had a moment.
I'm impressed.
And you know what? We didn't make the Instagram, and I was a little bit sad about that because we spent a long time. So another thing that we have learned I thought it was a Ellen thing, but apparently other people do it as well. They'll have you dress in a certain color palette for their event. So Ellen has been doing that for ages. I've seen pictures, on past book events. She assigns a color, everyone dresses in the color, and if you dress in the color, you get to be on the Instagram page. And I think what happened was we all dressed in the color. It was a whole thing. We had to wear blue. I got a gorgeous blue dress. Loved it. We take the picture, and we take one as a group with the three of us, and then we took one that was just me, and I made a joke that was because my mom didn't want to be on the podcast Instagram page, and I think she took that as my mom doesn't want to be on Instagram, and so no, we didn't get on hers either. But you know what? It's fine. I then put her on mine.
It's like we're gonna put your mom on our Instagram.
We did. She's in the, if you swipe through the pictures from the Ellen recap, she's in there.
Perfect.
So made up for it. So that was my very first author signing, and it was amazing. Had a blast. Great to meet an author that I've adored for years. The next event I did without you was put on by Brookline Booksmiths, and it was a romance author panel with Tessa Bailey. Nope, I lied. Reading the wrong list. Back it up. Boop, boop, boop. So the romance panel put on by Brookline Booksmith had...
So not cutting this. All of this is staying. If you didn't do the boop, 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 it would have cut, but that was too funny.
Well, I can do it again. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Romance panel. It was a virtual romance panel put on by Brookline Booksmiths, and it featured Katie Roberts, Allie Hazelwood, Olivia Blake, and Jennifer L. Armentrout. And it was a great event. I'd never done a virtual book event before. I didn't really know what to expect. And they kind of just chatted about romance as a genre, romance authoring. We're going with it. They took questions from the audience. This one I will always remember because I got my very first, I've had migraines before. Never crazy or bad or anything, but I had my first ocular disturbance with a migraine, and I thought I was going blind, and we went to the Mass Eye and Ear ER, and I was pissed because I was like, I had an author event that I was supposed to do, so I listened to the Zoom in the ER of Mass Eye and Ear. And
I'm on vacation. You're texting me as I'm on vacation. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Should I text Jen or Erin and say, hey, my friend's in the ER? Can somebody get in there for her? I'm on vacation. My friend who's a nurse, she's like, is she okay? I'm like, I don't know. She stopped responding. I hope so.
Just blind in one eye. It was a scary time. It thankfully went away, and they were like, yeah, your eye's 100% fine. And I was like, awesome, amazing. It was weird. I've never had I've had when you get dizzy or and you kind of get blurry around the edges. I've had that happen before, but this was I was looking straight ahead, and this gargantuan C-shaped kaleidoscope came in, and I could look at my wall and be like, I know that there's a pink painting there, and so I could see that there's pinks, but couldn't tell you what it was. And I was like, that immediately start to spiral. I was like, my life is over. I'm a graphic designer. My career is done. What am I gonna do?
But you're fine. You're okay.
I am fine.
Your vision is perfect.
Vision is perfect. Had a great time in the ER with watching this romance panel, and then when the lady did the eye test, I don't think I've ever realized that they like do the ones they like project it over
Mhm.
you and it's in a mirror, which I didn't realize. And I was struggling with like the tiny line as I normally do. And then I was like, guessing. And then when I ended, Brian was like, you weren't even close. Like, what? And I like turned around and I was like, that's a Z. And she was like, I don't think anyone's ever like cross checked their answers before. And I was like, I'm horrified.
I told you about the last time I took an eye exam, right? And I guessed a shape because it's like
That's what it
I don't
is.
know what it is, and that's why I wear glasses. Thank you.
I do have a very faint prescription, but I followed up and had a normal eye doctor appointment, and she's like, read the smallest line. I can read the bottom line, but it's not easy. And I was like, should I like? Do you want me to go for like I can clearly read, or like if I stare at it long enough, I'll figure it out? Read.
I don't know what the answer is. I just know that there's like a 99.999% chance that there are no shapes on your eye
Yes,
exam. So,
none. They did throw me for a loop because there was a 2 in mine, and I was looking at him like, and she's like, that one is a number, and I was like, what the fuck? You can't just throw numbers in there. That's
okay. So now I'm going to think that they're going to be like mixing it up even more and the shapes are going to be there.
There could
So,
be shapes. You never know.
but it was not a triangle. Just so you know.
So you're clear. So yeah, that was a fun book event because I was in the air. Great times.
You'll never forget it.
I will never forget it. It was memorable. I don't, to be honest, I don't remember a lot of what was happening in the conversation. But
But you got a book. You got Katie Roberts
I did. I picked up Wicked Beauty.
from the Dark Olympus series, which we have read and is on the review for all of the Dark Olympus series as of right now. That's released as of right now, is up on our Instagram.
There is another one coming,
I know.
and I'm very excited.
I know. I think I saw the post a couple weeks ago, last week. I don't know. But check those out. Check out the Dark Olympus series. Cupcake not necessary, but always encouraged.
Always encouraged.
Just putting that out there. It's fine.
So our next event was our first in-person together event, and it was for our favorite Tessa Bailey.
We talked all about this event in our Musing over Tessa Bailey episode, so make sure you check that out. But that was my first like in-person author event. So we got there, we stood in line, she signed our books. I got a dick in mine. Again, go watch our Musing over Tessa episode for more context about what that means, and check it out on YouTube if you want to see the dick. I don't
know if we can say that.
I mean, it's there though. Like it's in the episode.
That is true. I know.
So context is everything, baby. We should use that for the Instagram.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that's the clip we're going to promote.
There you go.
But this was the first one. I mean, I had only gone to at this point, the Ellen Hildebrand one, and I was expecting some sort of presentation, conversation, something of that effect. So I was like, let's go early to get good seats. And then we walked in the door and it was like a line wrapped around the building for the signing already. I was like, oh, totally different thing. Had no idea.
Which was fine. I had no, like, I thought it was also going to be like a reading and then maybe signing, but this was just
amazing.
like a strict signing. And it was great because she was able to have like a quick,
conversation
2-minute
with
conversation.
literally everybody.
Yeah.
Which I was so impressed with because, I mean, I can't imagine. And she like stood up to take pictures with everybody, which was super nice. Like, I just feel like it was a different kind of vibe. And she was so, so gracious and so nice and adorable. And we love her.
We do. And then our next event was at Brookline Booksmith, and it was for
Kayla Miori, Mother in a Dark.
I was like looking for the book that's on
I was like, I can see it on your shelf behind there.
Just out of reach, or else I'll fall out of my chair. So you actually grew up with Kayla.
Yes. And
technically.
Yeah, I was like, that's going to make it sound like we were best friends, but we were not. She went to the same high school and elementary school as I did, and we were on the same bus route. And so, like, I knew of her. A friend from high school had sent me, like, hey, remember Kayla? Like, she wrote a book. And I was like, that's amazing. Can't wait to read it. And then I found out that she was coming to Brookline Booksmith, and I was like, we got to go. How cool is that? And it was so fun. It was at Brookline Booksmith. It was in their basement space. She did a reading and then answered some questions from her moderator and then also from the group. There were the most adorable cookies that were
That were
branded like her book,
so
and they were so
delicious.
good. We've gone to other book events now that had not as good snacks. They were good. We love a good cookie.
We love a good cookie almost as much as a good cupcake. But no, that was super fun. She signed the books. So we went to Kayla's signing with your friend Mallory. You all grew up in the same town and all that. So it was really great to see. And then her family came out and some other friends that y'all grew up together, whether you're if you were sitting at the same lunch table or not, whatever. But it was like really cool to see that, like as an outsider, obviously I didn't grow up where you did, to see, that kind of support and love. And then I think maybe it was her brother-in-law kept asking like sarcastic and like snippy, funny questions. And I was like, oh, that's great. Family dynamics at play.
It was really great. And it was great to see, like, again, I haven't spoken to any of these people in eons, but like I recognized a lot of faces in the crowd from school, from families and stuff. And so it was nice to like see everybody come out and support her. And it was great to see her again. And I'm just so excited for her. And I cannot wait to read the book. I have not read it yet because I had a couple arcs that I had to get through. And now those are finally clearing up. So I'm hoping to dive in the next, couple weeks.
And then after Kayla, we had like
Back-to-back events.
We had the Lady Gaga concert, which was not a book event, but we talked
still a great
things.
time.
And then the following week, we had 2 back-to-back events. The first one, another virtual panel, this time with our bestie,
Allie Hazelwood and Tessa Bailey.
Allie Hazelwood and Tessa Bailey.
I think that one was one of my favorites because it was like watching 2 best friends just like hanging out and chatting, and we love both of them. We love their books. We love them as people, and it was just so fun.
It was so delightful. It was sponsored by Barnes & Noble. It happened on the pub day for Allie Hazelwood's latest book, which is getting shipped. Love on the Brain, which is getting shipped to us via Barnes & Noble for attending the event. You could tell that they were just fans of each other, which was really lovely. I was fans of them, and then I Instagrammed a photo, and Allie Hazelwood put me on her story. And I almost like cried. I was so excited.
We're basically best friends now.
I was like, hey, you want to come on the podcast? Cool.
I mean, the dream one day is to start interviewing authors, but I don't know that we're going to start with Allie Hazelwood or Tessa Bailey. I feel like
I mean,
we'll see what happens, but
we could.
It would be amazing.
I
would probably shit myself. I'm putting it out there now. I don't think I would be able to contain my cool if either of them come on the podcast. I don't have a very good poker face, and I don't know that I'd be able to be professional. I would just be like, I love you.
I think you could, and I think it's okay if you are just very excited to be around them, because they seem like very excited and fun women.
They are. They had a whole conversation about Tessa Bailey's wallpaper.
Love it or hate it.
Love it or hate it. And then apparently she's shipping it to Allie now.
The general consensus is people hate it, but Allie loves it, so
it's hers now.
It's hers now.
I can't wait to see where she puts it up.
I know. But that was such a fun event, and I got to do it in my pajamas, which
we love pajamas.
I love a comfy pant, my friend. I love a comfy pant.
That's why I am in BBBs currently.
I might have some sequins on my shirt, but I have pajama pants on.
Boom.
So,
It is party on the top. No, business on the top. Well, I guess you're technically party on the top. Party on the top and comfy on the bottom.
Comfy as fuck.
That's the rules here.
Yeah. Comfy and cozy. With just
always.
A little bit of sparkle.
A lot of bit of sparkle. We love sparkle. Speaking of sparkle, that leads us right into our next and last, as of this podcast, book event, which was meeting Alex Astor, the author of Lightlark, at Brookline Booksmiths.
Super fun. So Kayla actually read an excerpt from her book. She was the only author to do that, which was really cool. But Alex had a great conversation. Again, it was like the day after her book came out, Lightlark. Had a really good conversation with
Dustin Tao.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
With Dustin about kind of his book's been on the bestseller list for, I think they said something
9 months.
9 months. So really about the process of getting published and why they went with the traditional route versus self-publish and things like that. So it was a really fascinating conversation about kind of the publishing industry itself and some of the struggles that they've both had, and then obviously the success that they've both had. So that was really cool.
It was really fun. And I will say, so we were saying before that Ellen always does a color palette for her events. And so as an event planner, I love a good theme. I love dressing up. However, we found out the night before Alex's event that there was a color to dress in, and I had no idea because we are apparently she talked about this on her TikTok, and we're not big on TikTok, so we're not there. We're on Instagram. But I had missed it. We got an email the night before that was like, reminder of your event. Here's your ticket information. Here's everything you need to know. Wear silver. I was like, silver? Man, oh man. Come to find out that there are, I think, 5 realms in the book, and each realm has a different color. So I understand why this was happening.
But more than 24 hours notice would have been helpful.
Threw us for a loop.
I do need to humbly thank, grovel at your feet, Jax, for going to TJ Maxx for me, because I don't have anything like silver or gray that's not like a sweater, and it was 90 degrees that day, something like that.
Yep.
So you did the Lord's work and went out and got me a silver purse and a silver headband and a beautiful like gray silvery blouse. That was amazing.
I'm happy to help. Again, once I'm on a mission, I can't be derailed. And if it involves a theme, I'm going to commit 110% because that's just who I am as a person. My family grew up, my mom has trained us to be very seasonal. We have a lot of themed things, like every birthday dinner we do every year. I am 32 years old and I still get a themed birthday every year.
Do you really?
Yes. My mom makes a themed birthday dinner for Janelle gets to pick her theme and I get to pick my theme. And it's usually something like unicorn.
What was your theme last year? Was it unicorn or was it something else?
Last year I think it was rose gold.
Oh, that's my
And then we had we have I have a whole array of event things for tablescaping in the basement. So we used a bunch of I have a lot of like rose gold china and stuff. So we got to like bust out all the cool stuff, which was fun. But yeah, so my family has grown up like that. So the second I hear a theme, I'm like, ooh. And the only thing I had silver in my closet, and there was slim pickings out there for silver. I'm surprised that I got as much as we did, but I had one silver sequin dress, and then I had silver heels and a purse from my wedding. So we wore that, and
yeah, the only silver I had were like my silver sequin like slip-on sneakers that I got because I wanted to wear sparkly shoes to a Bruins game. Like a
good reasoning. Nope, that's great reasoning.
Sure, we'll go with that.
But yeah, so I wore a full fucking sequin dress to this event.
And people loved it.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yeah, I was like, it's either, in my mind, I was like, this is going to go one of two ways. One, no one's doing anything, and I would rather be overdressed than underdressed. Or two, we would be the only ones who didn't do it because she has such a fan base that I assumed people were going to go crazy. It was the first one. There was a couple people in silver. There was a couple gray. There was a woman in a very lovely it was like a gray blouse with like this silver stitching.
With silver like threading, yeah.
It was gorgeous.
It was beautiful, yeah. I mean, to be fair, there was the one woman who flew in from London, so I feel like she got a pass.
So, I'll take it.
Yeah. But those have been...
Yeah. I was going to say, she then wrote in my book. Like, she signed it like something, the Starlight Queen. And I was like, yay.
Yeah, you are. Hey.
Feeling excited.
We love it. But yeah, next time, like 48 hours. 30,
a week would be great.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, I start planning that shit like we were picking dresses. Tickets. I was like, we were planning the Ellen once she launched her book tour. She launched all the dates, the colors for each one. I picked the event that we went to because the other one that day that was like earlier in the day, the color was cantaloupe, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to find anything cantaloupe, so we went with the blue one. Because that was easier. But then
That's so specific.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to pull up the list and find, like, there were some, one of them was, I think it was baby shower themed. So you wore pink or blue. Like there was like there's because she has so many of them that she like there's a whole range of interesting color picks. Blue seemed easy.
Fair enough.
It was not. It was hard to find a good blue dress, which was shocking to me. But I love the one that I ended up getting,
Good.
and I'll be wearing it to. I forgot what it is. I feel like I had an event that's on the calendar, and I was like, I don't know what to wear, and I was like, blue dress.
There you
Because
go.
I was gonna wear it to Alex, but then I had to wear silver. So sequence it is.
God forbid we wear sequins
All the time.
It's fine. So yeah, those have been our book adventures so far. I think we're at the end of August. Most of these book adventures have happened in August.
Yep.
And it's been so fun.
I can't wait to see we're keeping eyes on Brookline Booksmith and the Barnes and Noble, the one that we did with Tessa. That website seems to have a lot of good virtual events too, so we're gonna keep eyes on that and see if there's any upcoming ones, because I'm excited for like fall book events, and like I hope someone does like a Christmas book event. And if they don't, we could do like gingerbread cookies and like book things. I just got excited.
Okay, so if you need Jax for the rest of the fall, she'll be planning our winter book event. But if you're interested in going to book events, check out your local booksellers, check out your local colleges. A lot of them will bring in alumni to do, if alumni has a recently published work, they'll bring them in. So definitely check out any local colleges in your area, local booksellers, Barnes and Noble. Some of the bigger sellers will do virtual events. I think those are here to stay, mingled
great.
in. They are great because you get to
do
do your pajamas.
And you get a bunch of authors involved, which was so fun. The thing I was going to say was I've heard from a few people that I'm like book friends with that they don't have these kind of things in their area. And I would say always check at the closest city near you. Because sometimes if you live, further out, like I'm in the burbs, they don't do things around here, but I can go into the city and have all these cool events.
Yeah, but that's why I say too, like check your local colleges and universities too. I think those are definitely kind of hidden a lot from the public. But I remember when I was going to college so many years ago.
I was like, I could feel you coming up with that. I was like, it's not that long ago.
Remember, I was in grad school when you were in undergrad. It was long enough, but I remember like authors coming in, they were open to the public, but they weren't really publicized. So definitely check those out. It takes a little bit of work, but also check out your local or your favorite author's website. They'll promote their own events too. Definitely. It does take a little bit of like proactiveness on your own part, but it's super fun. And if you can do it and you go to one, let us know. We want to know what book events you're going to. There's obviously the big events.
It's like you read my mind. I thought you were rapping and I was like, oh no, but I just thought we should talk about the conferences. And I think that's where you were.
It was exactly where I was
simpatico.
My God, we should definitely start a podcast or something. Oh wait,
I know, right? Here we are. But there are several big book events, and they will bring in hundreds of authors, and it's on our list. I think we got to go to at least one. It seems a little bit overwhelming, but we're gonna do it because I want to know.
Yep, but there's
we have not decided which ones.
Yeah,
but we have our eye on a few.
There's a lot. Definitely search the interests, like the genre that you're interested in and things like that. The one that Colleen Hoover does, and there's is it
Apolycon? That's Jennifer L. Trotz.
Yep, and that's in DC.
Yep, and then Book Bonanza's Colleen
Hoover.
That one's in Texas.
Yep, that's in Texas next year. And there's a few others that we were looking at. We have the Boston Book Festival happening, obviously in Boston in October.
October? I
think it's October. We'll get back to you on that.
No, I'm gonna look it up.
But yeah, and just kind of check your local libraries too. I think they're always trying to do stuff. I get the Boston Public Library. Just got it today, actually. The what's happening this week email.
October 29th.
Huh. October.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's fine. In my mind, September. Like I think I might have been looking at my October calendar because I was like, I swear I just saw it because I was trying to book meetings. I'm booking meetings until October, and that's disgusting.
It's fine. I'm booking meetings until December at this point, so it's fine.
I hate it.
Let us know what book events you're going to or you want to go to, your kind of wish list. Who do you want to see? We want to know all that because we probably feel the same way. So let us know.
Maybe we'll see you at a book event.
Hey.
That would be crazy and a lot of fun.
Oh my God, we could do a meetup, like a post-event meetup, and invite whoever we're meeting. I don't know.
We are so not cool enough for this.
No,
no one wants to hang out with us.
I mean, we got good tacos, good margaritas, and fried ice cream last time. I'm just saying.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go back there.
Oh God, yeah. God, I just like spilled my drink all over.
We got really good pizza before the Alex Astor one.
We did. Oh,
and we got crepes before Kayla Muri's. So we love food. So
it's like, so basically,
we basically piggyback dinner on either end of a book event. So if you want to eat,
yeah, we're here for it. But yeah, drop us a line, drop us a DM, slide into our DMs on Instagram at Musing over Mugs. Don't laugh at me.
Slide into our DMs.
I mean, or don't, whatever. Write us a book. Yeah. So I think we're
that's
good.
It?
Yeah, that's it. Let us know what book events you're going to next.
And thanks for hanging out with us tonight, or today, or this afternoon, or this morning, whenever you're listening. Thanks for hanging out with us.
We appreciate it.
And to you, my friends, we say cheers.
We do, but before we say cheers,
damn it.
We say, if you like this episode, please make sure to
I thought we cheers
review.
and then do that.
No. I mean, we can cheers and then do that and then cheers again.
No, you go first.
Okay. This is staying in too.
Wait, then let me butcher it first. Thanks for tuning in today, guys, whatever time of day you're listening. And please be reminded.
Reminder. Oh.
We're gonna start that again. I'm gonna.
We're recording this on a Monday, just so everybody.
And I specifically had no alcohol.
Everyone's like very clear. This is a Monday. This is how we're starting our week.
And this is how I normally am, just uncaffeinated, unalcoholed. Unalcoholed. So, whatever time of day, night, evening, whatever. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us here, and be sure to rate, subscribe. And that's it.
And leave us a review.
Leave us a review. I didn't say like this time. I did it.
Leave us a review if you liked it. If you didn't like it, that's totally okay. We understand we can be a bit much.
Again, no, we are the perfect amount of enough.
If we're too much, go find less. Thanks, TikTok, for that one. But yeah, so if you didn't like it, totally okay. Just send us a DM, slide into our DMs, and let us know why. We want to make something that you enjoy, and that you want to come back and listen to more of us muse about other topics. And with that,
cheers.
Cheers.